so we're going to talk in this clip about the shoulder. And remember, these are simplistic videos deliberately, so that you think about the concepts of what's going on. Now, people can talk about the shoulder as being the top here, or some people may feel it's at the back here, some people may think it's at the front, some people may think at the end. But we know what we're basically talking about. The shoulder girdle is round here. There isn't, like with the knee and the hip, there isn't complexity in these joints in terms of the actual bones. There is your upper arm bone here called your humerus. It sits into this kind of AC joint, and basically an artificial cup is created here by where your shoulder blade meets your collarbone. There isn't really anything else there apart from soft tissue. Again, we keep coming back to the soft tissue. There's cartilage, and cartilage is there to create the cups and to help the bones stay in the right position. But basically the forces onto the shoulder are coming from all directions. They are not just in this area. You could have shoulder problems because your wrist's been broken. So if we look at me here, wrist has been broken or is hurting, we start to hold that away from ourselves. We just instinctively do that. And then the pain transfers into our elbow. And over time, as compensations build up, we've heard this before, the compensations layering up, then we can start to hold it into our shoulder to protect our wrist. And then we can start to hold the tension into our neck. So somebody presenting with a shoulder issue, it may be a long way, a very long way. It could even be coming from the hip, because we have diagonal lines running up, lines of tension that allow us to twist and turn, and we have lines of fascia, but we also have key muscles. So we have a muscle here, that is Miss Dorset, it fastens here as a kite muscle, comes across, and it fastens under the arm and brings the arm down. We have muscles across the top, a deltoid cap, if we look on me here, and that those muscles are all pulling the shoulder into stability, and there are lots of different lines of tension. We've got the pec muscles at the front, for instance, teres muscles and so on, even biceps and so on, and down scalenes into the neck and so on, and they're all providing these tensional forces on the joint. They can pull the shoulder. If we look at me, we can pull the shoulder forward, we can pull the shoulder up, we can pull the shoulder back, we can rotate it in all sorts of different directions. And if I've got my arm up, it's going to be latissimus dorsi that attaches down my back, that pulls me down again. And so all the time when we're looking at shoulder issues, we're looking for what is causing the impingement. Now, there could be an injury, but many people under an MRI or whatever, they'll find that they've got a tear in the infraspinator or the supraspinator or whatever, which are some of these muscles that are holding, for instance, the scapula down, the shoulder blade down. And we'll see people with shoulder blades out here. My arm, when it moves forward, is designed for my scapulae to slide. But if anything here, like for instance, muscles pulling across here, rhomboids and so on, are holding one of my shoulder blades over, or if one of them has disappeared, has rotated round and is in a stuck position forward under the armpit, any of those kind of muscles will cause a restricted shoulder. And someone might say, oh, it's a frozen shoulder, meaning that it's kind of locked down. True frozen shoulder is rare as such, but what we're doing as bone practitioners working on soft tissue is we're looking for where are the tensions that are holding this position, how do we then influence those to release, and then the way that we work in this practice is how do we teach the person to then adapt their behaviour and avoid potentially habitual postures. So if you're always doing this at the desk, then even if we release and everything goes back down again, you will effectively re-injure because you're back like this. So let us look at getting your workstation up so that you don't need to slouch. Let us make sure that if you've got a laptop, it's up high and we're bringing your arms down, your shoulders relaxed, your head up in a neutral position, and your arms are relaxed down, your elbows are by your side. And if we look here, we bring your mouse here. So don't have your mouse out to the side, because that is causing immediately tension patterns here and up into the neck. So we look at how we bring you, so that if I just do that to tilt, my mouse is here. None of this, and we'll be talking about the hand and the biomechanics of the hand in another video, but basically none of this, because this starts to create inflammation around the wrist area and so on. So you're completely relaxed. This is totally original Mavis Beacon or Pitman's. When the old typewriters were ran, we were taught how to sit correctly at a typewriter. People in typing pools were sitting typing for hours and hours and hours, but because they were actually taught how to biomechanically sit correctly and not create a load of tensions, we knew a lot more then. IT now has caused us to do all sorts of things, slouching and adopting really one-sided postures that are not helpful to your body.